Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about this crazy Nintendo Switch porting studio called Virtuos and the work that they've been doing. Honestly, they are pretty much like the new panic button, and also Skyrim Grandma, what's been going on with her, and some misreporting that's been happening here. So let's go ahead and first start off with Virtuos. Now this company is absolutely nuts, and in my opinion they are the new panic button. They have been doing some amazing work on various different games, from like Final Fantasy on the Nintendo Switch to Starlink Battle for Atlas, Dark Souls Remastered. They have a wide variety and genre scope, and they've been bringing over very good versions of each of the games. And their newest games that they're going to be bringing to the Switch are the 2K games, so BioShock, the collection, also XCOM 2, both coming over. But they didn't just stop right there. When it comes to Virtuos, they have all sorts of swag and confidence. They think that they can bring pretty much any game to the Nintendo Switch, any current gen game, and guess what? They even think they're going to be able to bring next gen games over too. Now, we've had multiple report on this. Shout out to my dude Doc Trey. He talked about it various different times, and I did check out the video, but I wanted to talk about some of the stuff that they said recently in some interviews with like My Nintendo News and what they're doing here, and some of my own thoughts when it comes to what's going on here. So Virtuos, like I said, is a crazy company. I wanted to get this in a video to talk about it because this is what they had to say recently when it comes to porting on the Nintendo Switch. Quote, "I'd say that we spent half a year just to optimize the memory, and we used many methods throughout this period, including using more efficient formats for files, removing needless memory usage, and even modifying and optimizing the original console memory itself. Off the back of our work with Starlink Battle for Atlas, Dark Souls Remastered, and The Outer Worlds," that's another banger that they've done as well, which is coming up pretty soon here for the Switch, "and the upcoming XCOM 2, we now have no doubt that Switch adaptations can be worked on for games on any of the current generation of consoles. The more games we develop for Switch, the better we get, and the more we can squeeze out of the hardware." Now that's obviously a pretty big and bold claim, so they feel that based on what they're doing here, they can pretty much get anything done. Now they also discussed how they can bring over PS5 and Xbox Series X games over to Nintendo Switch too, and of course that would be at reduced resolutions and not as good frame rates and all the stuff that would come with a Nintendo Switch version of the game, like we've seen before with other games that they've brought over. But if you've played their ports, I mean, like pretty much the worst one that I would say is Dark Souls Remastered, and that's still a very good and competent version of Dark Souls on the Nintendo Switch, but everything else is really good and very much acceptable for what people are looking for on the Nintendo Switch. So I wanted to talk about this because this company is absolutely nuts, and I think that they're so good and that they're getting so many contracts that they pretty much are that new standard when it comes to Nintendo Switch. When companies want to bring over a big game to the system, they're going to go to Virtuos first. Obviously, you have a company like Saber, which did The Witcher 3. They got bought out by THQ Nordic, so I think that THQ Nordic is going to be having them do their third-party Nintendo Switch type of ports and games like that. But I think that when it comes to an independent company that's going to be getting contracts from some of these outside companies to get Xbox One or Xbox Series X or PS5 games or whatever the case is, because there's probably going to be a lot of cross-gen games anyway, so it's probably going to be more like the PS4 version being ported over, more so than anything else. But either way, they're going to get Virtuos to do this, and this is definitely extremely good news for the Nintendo Switch system, and even leads into what Nintendo's doing next. I don't think there's going to be like a start over, right? Because if you look at it with like the Wii U, you had a little bit of a start over from what people did with the Wii, right? You had a little bit of a start over from what people were doing with the PS4 and Xbox One. But whenever we get the next Switch, yes, there's going to be things that are different, and developers are going to have to learn new tricks and tactics, whatever there's more power or CPU or whatever the case is. But I think it's going to be that same Tegra or Nvidia. It's going to be that same knowledge that you gain. So it's not going to be too much harder to adapt and move on, and I think that's the cool thing about the Nintendo Switch, and I'm so happy that it's having success so guys like Virtuos can continue to hone their craft. I mean, look at all the games that we just mentioned here. XCOM 2, The Outer Worlds, Starlink, Dark Souls Remastered. I mean, there's so many good games that they've been working on. Heck, BioShock as well. They are a top-tier Nintendo Switch porting studio. From what I understand, they have over 1,000 employees pretty much across the globe, so they are all over the place, but they're originally based in China from what I understand, or an Asian company. So it's crazy to see how what this company is doing on the Nintendo Switch, and it's crazy to see that they are so confident. Like I said, they've got so much swag that they think that they can bring over pretty much anything over to the system, which would include games like Cyberpunk, right? I mean, I think that would probably be the true test of all tests for Virtuos, is if they can bring over Cyberpunk, because the game that they did, or not that they did, but the game that people thought that was previously impossible to come over to Nintendo Switch was The Witcher 3, another CD Projekt Red game. So if they were able to get a contract, some way, shape, or how, to bring over Cyberpunk, that would be incredible in its own right. And if it ran good and if it played good, which I think it would, because I think that all of Virtuos's ports have done really well on the system. We're starting to see some developers pull out some crazy things for the Switch. And of course, this third-party support, albeit being late or higher priced or whatever the case is, it's still good for the system, because for every person that has already got a PS4 and played it, there's one more person or two more people or whatever the case that don't have the game, and there's another person who wants to play the game portable. Heck, we've seen how many people have Switch Lites and how many people, even with regular Switches, exclusively play their games portable for just like the convenience of it, or being able to play without having to worry about the TV, or in separate rooms, or if they travel to a friend's house, or whatever the case is. So seeing Virtuos bring over all these big games that there's no way you'd be able to play them portable unless you have like the GPD Win or something like that, which is crazy expensive, and it's running on a Windows basic PC and stuff like that. So I mean, most people don't want to do that. You want to have something that's a little bit quicker, easier, like the Nintendo Switch or the Switch Lite. So being able to bring over these type of games and play them anywhere that you want is very important, and I think that's one of the big reasons why the Nintendo Switch is doing extremely well. Heck, we even have, just recently, there was the news that Nintendo Switch, it was up available on multiple different sites like Amazon and Best Buy and all that, and within an instant, it's already being sold out. Some of it being scalpers, and a lot of it being people who just want a Nintendo Switch system, right? So it's just nuts. It's nuts to see Nintendo have this success and to see developers being able to do stuff like this on the system. And shout out to the Virtuos, man. I want to see their ports. I'm going to be supporting them just so we can see more developers invest more time and money into the Switch system. Obviously, most of these third-party developers are going to be going for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, or PS4 and Xbox One, but we might see some games here or there come over, and a lot of them might surprise you in the future. So what do you guys think about what Virtual's work is doing here? How crazy do you guys think that they are on a scale of 1 to 10 when it comes to crazy good developing on the Switch? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, so moving on to the next topic here, guys. We have a little bit of a, I would just say, mess up or major mess up that's going on here with the Skyrim Grandma. For those who don't know, there's this 82-year-old grandma who likes to play Skyrim. She's actually pretty popular. She streams and everything, and apparently she said that she's going to be taking some time off recently. And unfortunately, VG247 ran an article saying that she's taking time off because she's getting so many people harassing her and all of this stuff, and there's so many negative comments. And they wrote this big article on that, and heck, man, we were ready, the Elite Ninja here in the village, we were ready to bust down some doors, like my man Juice Van Vaughn had to say. We're ready to bust down some doors to stop people, because I'm not going to be having 82-year-old grandmas who are streaming being harassed. That's ridiculous. And while she did state that there are some people doing some harassment on her, that is not the case overall. Most people are very nice to her. She doesn't have any issues. And this is what she had to write on VG247's article. So the article title was, YouTube Skyrim Grandma announces she is scaling back streams for the sake of her health after receiving onslaught of patronizing comments. And then here's what she had to say. This is Shirley Skirley, that's her name on Twitter. She says, VG247, I don't know who you are or where you get your ideas from, but there was no onslaught of patronizing comments, triple exclamation marks. But yes, I am scaling back my videos due to health. Most people on my channel are very nice. I do wish you would delete this so it would go away, because apparently people have been tagging her and letting her know, like, hey, what's going on here, and trying to defend her, or whatever it is here. So there's not people attacking her and doing all this different stuff that's causing her to say, okay, I'm going to take a step back. It's just due to her health, because she's 82 years old. Now, the unfortunate thing, or another unfortunate thing, is that GameSpot recently just ran an article, I think yesterday, last night, or the time that I'm recording this, it was pretty much just recently that I saw RGT85 post that GameSpot pretty much said the same thing. They ran an article saying the Skyrim Grandma is getting harassed or whatever, and that's just not the case when she already responded to this. And VG247 never spoke with her. They never spoke with the Skyrim Grandma. So that's very unfortunate that they ran an article without speaking to her first. That should have been what they've done, so this thing wouldn't happen. But I'm so glad I didn't make a video on it first, because I was ready to make a video on it, because we just can't be having 82-year-olds, you know, or heck, anybody really, but especially 82-year-old grandmas playing Skyrim, we can't be having them getting harassed. Listen, I know it's the internet, people are going to do it, but there are lines to be drawn. And if people want to go that way, then definitely there needs to be a resistance against people that are willing to abuse somebody at that age that's just playing Skyrim. That's obviously not hurting anybody at all or not doing anything wrong. So I'm very glad that is not the case, and she's not getting a bunch of crazy people saying stupid things to her all the time, and she needs to take care of her health. That's the biggest thing that she needs to do. I still think that she can have plenty of good years left in the tank as long as she takes care of her health. So let her do that. Let her enjoy her Skyrim and all of that, and let her have her fun. People, I guess she was kind of complaining that people were backseat gaming and stuff like that at times. So just go there, enjoy the fact that we have an 82-year-old grandma playing Skyrim. I think that's dope to see that, because you don't see it very often, right? So what are you guys' thoughts on this when it comes to Virtuos and what they can do, the madmen, or the misreporting that's going on with Skyrim Grandma? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Check out the links in the description. We've got Twitter. Go and give us a follow on there. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you can. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next one. Peace.